Unfortunately, the backlash against the International Criminal Court in Africa, which was actually only driven by a handful of states, has begun to ebb. The prospect of mass withdrawals was widely discussed, but it never really gained momentum. In fact, at the end of that process, only one country in Africa, Burundi, ultimately decided to withdraw from the court as abuses in its own country came under the ICC investigation. Instead, what happened was that when Burundi, Gambia, and South Africa announced in October and November 2016 their intention to become the first states to ever withdraw from the court, 16 other African governments spoke out in support of the court and against withdrawal from the Rome Statute. In February 2017, the new government in Gambia decided to reverse the plans to withdraw from the court. In South Africa, the courts in that country concluded that the government had not obtained the necessary parliamentary permissions before deciding to withdraw from the court. Since then, a new draft legislation is in progress, but it has not yet received legislative attention. So beyond Burundi, no other country in Africa has withdrawn from the court. In fact, I think that the support for the court has only gained more traction. But on the part of the ICC itself, there remains a lot that it can do in terms of meeting the demands for justice and meeting the needs of victims, especially in a global landscape where there is an increasing number of situations where international crimes are being committed across the world. Now, the other issue that the ICC needs to deal with is the ability of some individuals in some of the most powerful states in the world and their allies to evade the reach of the ICC. It is a cause for deep concern, and it is a criticism that African governments have levied against the court. The court needs to continue to improve its investigations and prosecutions. The efforts to make its work more meaningful to local populations cannot be overemphasized. So the important fact is that the ICC remains the only permanent court of last resort, which at least offers, potential check against impunity around the world, especially when national courts fail to hold perpetrators to account. In Africa, the African Union expanded the jurisdiction of the African Court of Justice and Human Rights in 2014. But there are two problems with that. The African Court of Justice is yet to become operational. And secondly, and I think for us most importantly, the immunity for sitting heads of states or governments and other senior government officials under the African Court's new authority runs counter to at least two core principles of international law. One, the irrelevance of official capacity before the court, and the principle of equality of everyone before the law. Now, we believe that the most effective route to enhancing the work of the International Criminal Court is through strong support and meaningful engagement with state parties, with NGOs, and with victims, especially people on the ground. Now, ratification of the Rome Statute of the court is not yet universal. It is something that needs to happen. Bringing the statute's provision into domestic law in different countries, including here in Nigeria, where I live, would foster a sense of justice for serious crimes, not just at international level, but also at the local level. The one thing that the International Criminal Court has also done is to encourage states to initiate local prosecutions. In Nigeria, for example, the Ministry of Justice, the Federal Ministry of Justice, perhaps to stave off criticisms and the impending investigations by the prosecutor of the International Criminal Court, decided to bring cases against suspected members of Boko Haram. Those trials have been stalled now, but at least it was a beginning. And I think, the fact of the existence of the International Criminal Court was critical to that decision to bring cases in the first place.